Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Lots of Christmas shows this time around. We'll have My Friend Irma, the Great Gildersleeve, and its sequel, sort of, the Harold Peary Show, Gunsmoke, and Fibber McGee and Molly. That's all straight ahead. On this Sure Happy It's Thursday, 20th day of December. This is the 354th day of the year, 11 days left till we get to 2024. The Louisiana Purchase completed at a ceremony in New Orleans on this date in 1803. In 1860, South Carolina became the first state to secede from the Union. In 1946, the film It's a Wonderful Life premiered in the New Globe Theater on Governor's Island in New York.
What is it you want, Barry? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Barry.
You sit around here and you spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider.
It's a Wonderful Life, premiering on this date back in 1946. 1988, the UN Convention Against Illicit Trafficking in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances signed at Vienna. In 1988, the U.S. sent troops into Panama in 1989 to overthrow the government of Manuel Noriega. 1999, Vermont's Supreme Court ruled homosexual couples entitled to the same benefits and protections as married heterosexual couples. And in 2019, the Space Force became the first new branch of the armed forces since 1947. Among those passing away on this date in history, dramatist Moss Hart, singer Bobby Darin, Chicago Mayor Richard Daley, Secretary of State Dean Rusk, astronomer and writer Carl Sagan, billions and billions of stars, Canadian singer, country singer, I should say, he was Canadian as well, but Hank Snow, Please Help Me, I've Fallen, actress Brittany Murphy, also the very funny Arnold Stang, and speaking of funny people, Foster Brooks.
Excuse me, have you ever been in Schenectady?
No, I never was in Schenectady.
Neither was I. Must have been a couple other guys. But I still have a feeling I've seen your face someplace else.
No, it's always been right here. Right on top of my neck. Maybe you've seen me on television.
Oh no, I've never been on television. Say, is it all right if I join you? I just stopped in for a little drink to settle my nerves before I go to work.
What sort of work do you do?
I'm an airline pilot.
What a funny, funny man. Foster Brooks passing away on this date in history with, of course, another funny, funny man, Dean Martin. Among birthdays today, Irene Dunn and Charlie Callis.
Is this Ralph? Hey, Ralph. Guess who this is? Yes, I mean, this is me. This is your old friend. This is he. This is he. This is he. This is me. You know what short for? This is Raoul. Listen there, Ralph. Today's my birthday, and for my birthday, friends, they all chipped in, and you know what they bought me? That's right, they bought me a knife. They bought me a knife. They bought me a, it's a Winchester cut. You put a bullet and they bought me a shotgun. So listen, I'll tell you what you do. I'll tell you what you do. Why don't you jump in your car and drive over to my house? We'll go out to the country and we'll go shooting. So his friend at the other end says... What'd you say?
The rubbery-faced comic Charlie Callis, born on this date in history. Psychic Uri Geller is 77. The producer of Law & Order and Miami Vice, Dick Wolf, 77. Alan Parsons, The Eye in the Sky, the Alan Parsons Project, 75. Singer-songwriter Billy Bragg, 66. From Star Trek Deep Space Nine and The Dead Zone, Nicole DeBoer is 53. And from Superbad and Knocked Up, Jonah Hill is 40. Those some of the people who celebrate the 20th day of December as their birthday, if this is your birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And we'll make Jimmy in Boston happy. We'll start off this hour with an episode of My Friend Irma starring Marie Wilson from 75 years ago, December 20th, 1948. That's next on this Christmassy edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on this Thursday.
Ladies and gentlemen, make tomorrow your D-Day. Get an extra bond for defense. Step into any bank or post office and buy yourself a profitable share in America's future. As an investment, bonds are better than ever. They can help you save safely, conveniently, and profitably. So whether you already buy on the payroll savings plan where you work or the bond-a-month plan where you bank, get an extra bond for defense tomorrow.
Thank you, George Fenneman. Now Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox gets underway with an episode of My Friend Irma starring Marie Wilson, going back 75 years to December 20th, 1948.
For the safety of your smile, use Pepsodent twice a day. See your dentist twice a year. Lever Brothers Company presents the Pepsodent show, My Friend Irma, created by Cy Howard and starring Marie Wilson as Irma with Joan Banks as Jane.
Friendship, friendship, just a perfect friendship. When other friendships have been forgotten, theirs will still be hot. My friend Irma.
Well, here it is, Christmas Eve at 8224 West 73rd Street, New York City. And on the third floor in apartment 3D, all is serene and quiet. Except for my roommate, Irma Peterson, who is reading.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring. Ah! Look, Jane, a mouse!
Now, don't get excited. It's lost. It's probably looking for Professor Kropotkin's room.
Oh, gee, Jane, I've never been so happy on Christmas Eve, and that's because I have such wonderful friends. You and Richard and Mrs. O'Reilly and Professor Kropotkin. And, of course, Al.
Oh, by all means, Al.
Of course, I can't really consider Al a friend because I'm going to marry him.
Naturally.
And, Jane, you don't know what it means to have a few good friends you can count on, especially on Christmas Eve. Well, you know, when you'd really like to be with your family, but mine lives over 1,500 miles from here.
Irma, you never say much about your family.
Oh, Jane, there isn't much to say. They're just an average family, just like me. Perfectly normal people. For instance, there's Anna Peterson, my younger sister. She's not as old as I am.
It figures.
And there's my brother, Ernie Peterson. He's engaged. To be married, of course.
Yes, of course. What about your parents?
Oh, I miss them the most. They're just like a mother and father to me.
You know that happens in most families, Irma.
But, gee, they're They're all in Minnesota and I'm here. But I'm not lonesome because I'm surrounded by good friends, and Jane, I really appreciate them. That's why I'm giving a Christmas Eve surprise party tonight for you and Richard and Professor Kropotkin and Mrs. O'Reilly and Al.
Tonight?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Irma, honey. Well, I don't know how to tell you, but...
Tell me what?
Well, dear, excuse me, honey. Hello? Oh, hello, Richard. What? Yes, I know it's formal. No, I've never been to the Long Island Country Club. Yes, I'm terribly excited. It'll be our second Christmas Eve together. Oh, I'll be ready. Goodbye, dear.
Jane, you mean you're going out tonight with Richard? Or what about my Christmas Eve party?
Well, honey, you didn't say anything about it, and Richard invited me to a Christmas party at the Long Island Country Club. I'd hate to miss it. It's the affair of the season.
Oh, but this is Christmas Eve, and I thought tonight we'd be together. Christmas Eve isn't like other holidays, you know.
Well, I realize that, honey, but...
Well, I could understand it if it was Independence Day, then we wouldn't have to be together. We could be independent.
Irma, I'm terribly sorry, but... Well, there's nothing I can do about it. Richard asked me weeks ago. Anyway, my not being here shouldn't spoil your party. You'll still have Professor Kropotkin and Mrs. O'Reilly and Al.
I understand, Jane. I still have the others.
Sure. Come in.
It's only me, Professor Kropotkin. How are my two little Christmas trees? One full grown and the other a little sapling.
Why, Professor?
Excuse me, a little Yuletide joke. By the way, girls, a Merry Christmas to you both.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Merry Christmas, Professor.
I hope you'll excuse me for coming down. I don't mean to interrupt, but I wasn't feeling so good. And when I don't feel so good, I always rush out of my room as fast as I can.
Why?
I wouldn't be found dead in that place. Well, girls, do you realize tonight is Christmas Eve?
Yes, and just look at that blanket of snow outside. Isn't it lovely?
That is a matter of opinion. If Mrs. O'Reilly doesn't put glass in my windows, not only will I have a blanket of snow, I'll have a carpet of the same material.
Oh, Irma, you'd better ask the professor about this evening before it's too late.
Oh, yes. Professor, will you come to my Christmas Eve party tonight?
Tonight? Oh, Irma, I'm so sorry.
You mean you can't come either?
But it can't be helped. Tonight I'm playing my fiddle at the Gypsy Tea Room. I've been practicing all day.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes, I know, but they pay me for it.
First Jane disappoints me, and now you.
Well, now look, honey, the professor can't help it. He must earn a living. And after all, you still have Mrs. O'Reilly and maybe the Martins upstairs. And, of course, there's Al. Come in.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Well, the same to you, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Merry Christmas.
Say, Mrs. O'Reilly, that's a beautiful stairs, but that sign in the middle of it.
You don't like it?
Merry Christmas, lots of cheer. Remember the landlady or you'll freeze next year. To me, it's not a sentimental thought.
Miss O'Reilly, I'm giving a big surprise Christmas Eve party tonight for you and Al. Will you come?
Tonight? Oh, Irma, darling, I'm so sorry.
You mean you're too busy, too?
Yes, the Martins have invited me to go to Jersey with them. And since they owe me 4 months' back rent, I can't afford to let them get on the train by themselves.
This is awful. First Jane turned me down, and the professor. Now you.
Maybe next year, Irma, dear. Merry Christmas and goodbye.
Oh, Jane.
Oh, sweetie, now stop crying. I know you're disappointed, but you should have told us about your party earlier. And besides, honey, you won't be left alone. You bought some food, didn't you?
What do you mean? Of course I bought some food.
Then Al will show up, I guarantee it.
Speaking of food, I think I'll go up to my room and have my dinner.
Are you cooking, Professor?
No, I just take one look at that dump, I sit down, and I eat my heart out. Merry Christmas, girls. I'm sorry, Irma.
Honey, I'm sorry things turned out this way for you.
Oh, it's all right, Jane. This is one way of finding out who my real friends are. They're Al. Every one of them.
Come in.
Hello, Jane. Hiya, chicken. Merry Christmas.
Oh, gee, Al. Merry, Merry Christmas. I'm so glad to see you.
Same here, chicken. I like being with you, too. Mind if I warm my hands on the radiator?
Oh, of course not, honey. How'd they get so cold?
Wanted to take the crosstown trolley, but with all that snow on the ground, took me 4 hours to find a transfer.
Honey, that's too bad. And your poor face, it's so red.
That ain't from the cold, chicken. They caught me with yesterday's transfer.
Oh, my goodness, look at the time. Richard's going to pick me up in an hour, and I haven't even started to dress. Al, aren't you going to take your top coat off?
Oh, thanks, Jane, but I ain't staying. Just came in to wish chicken a Merry Christmas. I gotta be on my way. Got a big deal brewing.
Oh, Al.
Oh, chicken, it's important.
Oh, you and your deal.
Business is business, chicken. I gotta be running along.
But I'll be left all alone on Christmas Eve, and Al, I depended on you, my own boyfriend.
Chicken, if I could only explain.
Don't bother. None of you must think very much of me if you can leave me alone on Christmas Eve. Fine friends I have. Goodbye.
How do you like that?
Al, of all the low-down, contemptible, good-for-nothing...
Hold it, Jane. I won't have you saying those things about the girl I love.
I'm not talking about Irma. I mean you. How could you desert her on Christmas Eve of all nights? Me, I have to go out with Richard, but you're her boyfriend.
Oh, Jane, I love Irma. And when a man is in love, he ain't responsible. He may do strange things he'd never do in his right mind.
What are you talking about?
I went and got a job.
You got a job? Al, have you been drinking?
Knew it would shock you, but it's just for one night. Want to make a little dough and buy Irma a present.
Oh, well, I apologize, Al. I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Forget it, Jane.
Oh, gee. Listen, Al. The Christmas carolers.
Gee, that's pretty. Would like to stay, but I gotta get to work. Tell Irma I'll see you tomorrow, huh? Goodbye.
Gee.
Hello? Hello? Who is it?
It's me, Richard. Jane.
Jane? Well, what's wrong? You sound terrible.
Richard, I can't go with you to the Christmas dance.
Why not? Are you ill?
No, Richard, I'm all right. It's just that... Well, Irma... You see, Irma hasn't any family or relatives in New York, and this Christmas Eve all our friends seem to be busy, and I just couldn't leave her alone, Richard.
I wouldn't want you to.
Are you sure you mean that, Richard?
Of course, honey. I understand. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye, and Merry Christmas, Jane.
Merry Christmas, Richard. But, Al, I thought you left.
Came back for my hat. Didn't mean to eavesdrop, Jane, but if you're willing to give up a good time tonight for Irma, I guess it's my duty to be with Chicken, too.
Oh, Al, that'd be just wonderful. But wait a minute, what about the present you were going to get for Irma? If you don't work tonight, where will you get the money for it?
Gonna hock my watch.
But, Al, that's the only thing you own. You know that no matter how bad times have been, you always said you would never hock your watch.
Well, a man like me don't need a watch. I sleep all day long. So time is not important. And at night, it's too late to do anything.
Come in. Oh, it's you, Professor.
Excuse me, Jane. I've been thinking about poor little Irma, and, well, I decided to give up the job so tonight I could be with her.
But, Professor, won't that cost you money? You get big tips during Christmas.
On Christmas Eve, it's not important to make money. It's important to be with friends. After all, what's money?
Well, it's pretty important.
I see you've been talking to Mrs. O'Reilly again. No, my little Irma has no father in New York, so tonight Professor Kropotkin will be her father.
Atta boy, Pop.
Listen, Al, the first chance I get, I'm disinheriting you.
Excuse me, everybody. I took the liberty of walking in.
Why, Mrs. O'Reilly, I thought you were on your way to New Jersey.
I changed my mind. I got to thinking about poor little Irma being all alone tonight, and I just didn't have the heart to go. I'm going to stay here with Irma.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Professor Kropotkin just said he's going to be her father.
I tell you, if that's the case, I'll be her mother.
I got news for you. If you're the mother, I'll be on the train for Reno in the morning.
Listen, everybody, I've got a wonderful idea. Irma was going to throw a surprise party for us. Now, we'll throw one for her. We'll give her the best Christmas a girl ever had.
Swell. I'll go out and hock my watch and buy the present. I'll get my violin.
Oh, and we can have the party in my apartment. It's bigger. Come along, Janie, and we'll start decorating. Oh, it'll be a Merry Christmas. Come on, Professor. Take me arm.
A fair swap. She's been taking my blood all year.
Oh, wait until Irma finds out. She'll be the happiest girl in New York.
Train now leaving on track 6 for Harmon, Poughkeepsie, Albany, Buffalo, and Point.
Next. Where to, miss?
Please, mister, what is the fare to Minneapolis?
$58 round trip.
$58? I only have $6. Where can I go for $6?
$6? Let me see. How about Niagara Falls?
Oh, I couldn't go to Niagara Falls. I'm not even married. I'll find some other place to go. Merry Christmas.
Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. If you feel a slippery coating, you have film on your teeth. And you need Pepsodent with Irium to remove it. For film is worse than you think.
Film collects stains that make your teeth look dull.
Pepsodent toothpaste removes film, makes your teeth look bright.
Film harbors germs that cause unpleasing breath.
Pepsodent removes film, makes your breath fresh and clean.
Film glues acid to your teeth. The very acid many dentists agree is the cause of tooth decay.
Pepsodent toothpaste removes film and the acids it contains.
Film never lets up. It forms continually on your teeth.
Yes, you have to fight film every day. So brush your teeth twice a day with Pepsodent toothpaste, because no other toothpaste can duplicate Pepsodent's film-removing formula. No other toothpaste contains Irium or Pepsodent's gentle polishing agent. So start now to fight film. Brush your teeth twice a day with Pepsodent, the toothpaste with an exclusive formula for removing film.
Down in Mrs. O'Reilly's room, the professor, Al, and myself. Al is beaming proudly. Come January the 1st, he will have completed a solid 6 years of steady unemployment. I'm setting the table, and Mrs. O'Reilly is out trying to find a Christmas tree.
Oh, me aching feet. I walked all over and I can't find a Christmas tree.
Well, did you see Irma anywhere in the neighborhood?
No, I didn't. But it's nothing to worry about. We must get the tree before she gets back.
Tree? Well, there's only one man who can help it.
Who, Al? As if I didn't know.
Who else but... Hello, Joe. Got a problem. Need a Christmas tree right away. Huh? I can get one at Macy's already trimmed for $10? Oh, the dime is for a glass cutter. The tree is in the window. No, Joe. No, this is Christmas Eve. When I hear jingle bells, I don't want them on a patrol wagon. What, Joe? You're playing Santa Claus tonight? Going down the chimney? Joe, this is quite a change for you, isn't it?
Or you're going in with an empty bag and coming out with a full one? Well, Joe, nothing I can say except good luck and Merry Christmas, noble friend.
Oh, Al, what are we going to do? It's getting so late. Stand over there and we'll put out all the lights and give her a big kiss.
Come in.
Merry Christmas, honey.
Here's one for me. Me too, my darling daughter.
For goodness sake, will someone please put on the lights?
Richard.
I thought Irma needed a shave.
Richard, we didn't expect you. I thought you went to the club.
I couldn't take it. Same old crowd, same old monotony. So I realized that I'd rather be here with real people on Christmas Eve.
Oh, gee, Richard, I'm so happy, and you're more than welcome.
Where's Irma?
Well, she thought we were all deserting her, so she went out in a huff. That's why we're throwing a surprise party for her. We're waiting for her to come back.
Don't want to find chicken until we can get a Christmas tree, though. Got any ideas, Richard?
Why don't we go out and buy one?
Nice gesture, Richard. We'll wait here for you.
Richard, you don't have to.
It's my pleasure, Jane. I saw several on the way over. I'll have one in a few minutes. Be right back.
And I'll get the cake out of the oven.
And I'll make some punch. And I'll tell you when it's right. Jane, what are you crying about? The party's taken form.
I know. So wonderful having everyone pitch in, Richard getting a tree, and all of you giving up things. Oh, this is the most wonderful Christmas I've ever
had. Look, lady, this is your third round trip on this ferry boat. Ain't you got a home? Ain't you got any friends?
No.
Well, take my advice. Make some.
All right, I'll try. Thank you, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Sleigh.
Oh, what fun it is to ride
on a sleigh.
In a one-horse open.
Oh, hold it, fellas. Look, lady, we're Christmas carolers. We don't do this for a living, but we enjoy it. And we rehearse a great deal. We don't mind you joining us, but we like to have the sleigh come after the horse.
I'm sorry.
Okay, fellas, let's do it again.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride.
When the horse comes after the sleigh.
Look, lady, would you mind running along?
Oh, all right. I was just lonely. Merry Christmas.
Pardon me, lady. Have you got a dime for a cup of coffee?
Oh, you poor man. And Merry Christmas. Maybe you ought to have another dime for a donut.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, gosh, I don't have any change.
Well, would you like me to break that 5 for you?
If you don't mind. Are you all alone in New York, too?
Yeah. How about you?
I'm from Minnesota.
Minnesota? How well I know that place. You know, you look very familiar.
I do? Oh, my name is Peterson.
Of course. You're Peterson's little daughter.
My father's name is George.
Hey, let me think. Peterson. Hey, that must be George Peterson.
Oh, how did you know?
Why, I remember. You used to live in
Minneapolis.
Let me see.
Minneapolis.
George Peterson. Minneapolis. That's the place. I never forget a name.
Oh, well, it's so nice to meet some old friends. Especially when you're lonely. You can keep the $5, sir.
Thank you. But this is only a loan. I'll return it the next time I see your father. Good old Fred Petersburg in Wisconsin.
It's Peterson in Minnesota. Mister!
Al, we've walked for miles. Perhaps we'd better go home and call the police to look for Irma.
Maybe you're right, Jane.
Pardon me, Bud. You got a dime? Oh, Al, it's you. You got that quarter you owe me?
Mushface, ain't you got no character? How can you panhandle on Christmas Eve?
Great pickings tonight. Just got a fin from a blonde. Told her I knew her old man, Peterson in Minnesota.
Peterson? Al.
Mushface, which way'd you go?
Across town. You know it?
Why? What's the difference?
I've been feeling like a crumb ever since I clipped her. Seemed like such a nice kid. Hey, would you give her back this fin? Yeah, thanks. And Merry Christmas. Hey, Bud, you got a dime for a cup of coffee?
Come on, Al, come on. Let's go home and call the police. Now I'm really getting panicky.
All right, Jane, I'm with you.
Look, lady, I seen that picture Mildred Pierce. Now you get off this bridge.
I was just looking at the water, Mr. Watchman.
Look, lady, don't look down there. Everything that's beautiful is up here. It's Christmas Eve, you know.
Yes, I know it. I'm so lonely.
Oh, I get it. You're all alone, huh?
Yes.
Any friends?
Yes, but my closest friends are far away.
Well, now, don't you cry, sister. You're coming home with me. We ain't got much, but we're happy to share it.
Hey, Bill.
Yes, Sergeant?
Did you happen to see a blonde girl? Say, lady, what's your name?
Irma Peterson.
That's all we want to know. Come along, sister.
I didn't do it.
Didn't do what?
I don't know, but my boyfriend always says to say you didn't do it.
Now, look, Janie, we got to be brave. Now it's up to the police. They'll find her. But we got to take our minds off it. Mrs. O'Reilly, would you like to dance?
Oh, I'd love to.
I'll dance with her. I'll play the fiddle. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
How do you like that? I just started playing and already the neighbors got the police here.
No, it's a squad car pulling up. I think it's Irma.
My chicken.
Oh, Al, it is Irma. The police have found her. She's coming up the steps. Now, quick, turn out the lights, everybody. Come on, we can still surprise her and have the party.
Come in, dearie.
Irma, darling.
Surprise, chicken. Here's a big kiss for you. And here's a kiss from your father.
Why, Professor?
Quick, turn on the lights. I'm dying. I just kissed Mrs. O'Reilly.
Irma, darling, Merry Christmas. Where have you been?
Oh, you're all here. I thought no one loved me, and I felt so alone.
Oh, honey, don't you know that people always spend Christmas Eve with their loved ones? And you're the one we love the most.
Exactly my sentiments.
Bless my little Irma. You're like me own daughter.
Sure, chicken. I'd never leave you. I want to spend all of my Christmas Eves with you.
Oh, this is the best Christmas a girl ever had, surrounded by her friends. Oh, it's midnight. Is that right, Al?
Wait a minute. Look at my watch.
Al, where are you going to the window?
Watch happens to be across the street. You're right, chicken. It's 12 o'clock. Merry Christmas, chicken.
Merry Christmas, Al. And Merry Christmas, Professor Kropotkin and Mrs. O'Reilly and Richard and Jane and all our friends. Merry, Merry Christmas.
And as for me, my sentiments are the same as those of my friend Irma.
Don't think that you are safe from film. Nearly everyone has it. Just run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. If you feel a slippery coating, that's film. And you'd better get Pepsodent toothpaste to remove it. For film collects stains that make teeth look dull. It harbors germs that cause unpleasing breath. Film glues acid to your teeth. The very acid that many dentists agree is the cause of tooth decay. And remember, film never stops forming. No, it never lets up. So brush your teeth twice a day with film-removing Pepsodent. No other toothpaste contains irium or Pepsodent's gentle polishing agent. No other toothpaste can duplicate Pepsodent's film-removing formula. Get Pepsodent toothpaste with irium today. My Friend Irma is produced and directed by Cy Howard and stars Marie Wilson as Irma with Joan Banks as Jane. Mark Levy writes the script with Stanley Adams and Roland McClain and is brought to you by Pepsodent toothpaste with irium, another fine product of Lever Brothers Company. The part of Al was played by John Brown. Hans Conried as Professor Kropotkin, Gloria Gordon was heard as Mrs. O'Reilly, and Donald Woods as Richard. Music was under the direction of Bud Gluskin. This is Wendell Niles speaking.
B-R-I-S-K, brisk flavor. That's what you get in Lipton tea. Yes, brisk flavor that picks you up, brings you back alive in a hurry. Brisk flavor that comes from Lipton's very special blending of the finest orange pekoe and pekoe teas. Try it. You'll find that this brisk flavor of Lipton's leaves you refreshed and ready to go again. And you can enjoy it often, because even wonderful tea like Lipton's costs less than any drink except water. Always ask for Lipton tea, the brisk tea, with that heartwarming Lipton lift.
Tune in 1 hour earlier next week and listen to the Lux Radio Theater, followed by the Pepsodent Show, My Friend Irma. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
There you have it, 75 years ago, December 20th, 1948, Marie Wilson and My Friend Irma on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Going back 81 years in just a moment, to December 20th, 1942, Harold Peary as the Great Gildersleeve.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the next 7 years of bigger and bigger enrollments, America's grade schools will need nearly 250,000 extra teachers, besides those to fill normal vacancies. This great need, plus the growing public interest in education and improvements in schools, make elementary school teaching a more rewarding career than ever, a career that high school and college students should certainly consider. Education holds America's future, perhaps your future.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, a spin-off of Fibber, McGee, and Molly, whom we'll hear a little later. Harold Peary is the Great Gildersleeve. This episode from 81 years ago from, I think this is the second season of the show, December 20th, 1942.
Kraft presents the Great Gildersleeve. Cheese Company will also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Peary as the Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. Well, Christmas is still a few days away, but I imagine in most of your homes the festivities have already started for the youngsters. Yes, with the kids on vacation, there are probably plenty of parties and occasions when friends drop in. Now that calls for a well-filled cookie jar. Yes, and a big bowl of popcorn now and then. So here's a tip. For cookies that fairly melt in your mouth, try making them with parquet margarine for the shortening. You see, besides being grand for table use as a spread for bread and seasoning for hot vegetables, parquet, when used as a shortening, adds delicate extra flavor to all baked foods. Try parquet melted over popcorn, too, and just watch the youngsters go for it. Best of all, these Christmas treats aren't expensive when you use economical parquet. So get your holiday supply of parquet margarine tomorrow and surprise the youngsters with the best holiday cookies and popcorn they ever tasted. Just ask your dealer for parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now let's join our friend, the Great Gildersleeve. With December almost gone, he's been working like a beaver the past few days trying to get out the annual report of the water department. That's why we find him now in his office asleep at 9 o'clock in the morning with his head buried in the annual report and his arms sprawled across the blotter, while through his troubled dreams run thoughts of this happy holiday season.
Must get at that Christmas card list, Uncle Mort.
All right, Marjorie.
Model airplane. That's all I want for Christmas, a model airplane.
I know, Leroy, I know.
How about that annual report, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Right away, Miss Fitch.
How many for Christmas dinner, Mr. Gildersleeve? Can't order till I know how many.
Give me a chance, Bertie.
Just because I'm giving you a present, Throckmorton, I don't want you to think you have to give me a present.
Oh, Leila, I almost forgot.
Have you bought the tree?
Tree?
Have you bought the mistletoe?
Wait a minute.
Have you forgotten anybody?
Wait!
Mr. Gildersleeve,
What do you want?
we regret to inform you that federal regulations require payment for all charge purchases on or before the 10th of the month.
Oh, go away, all of you. Christmas, I hate it.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, my goodness, what's happened? Mr. Gildersleeve. He's still warm.
Go away, go away.
Wake up.
Miss Fitch, let me see, where were we? Afraid I dozed a little there. Dear sir, read that back to me, will you?
Mr. Gildersleeve, it's morning.
Morning? Is there anything strange about that?
Only that you slept here all night.
I did? Oh, I must apologize, Miss Fitch. I'm afraid I need a shave. Oh, and the suit looks as if I'd slept in it. Oh, well, let's finish this report and get it over with, huh?
But you haven't even had breakfast.
Breakfast can wait, for once. Will you check these figures as I read them all?
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thank you. Statement of financial status. Cash on hand, $386.52.
Check.
Accounts receivable, $2,873.38.
Check.
Interest, $139.10.
Check.
Marjorie, negligee and slippers. Leila ransom, passion flower. There must be something wrong here.
I think there must.
Yes, I guess I must have got to thinking about something else during the night. Silly, wasn't it?
Yes.
Perhaps I should explain, Miss Fitch. I was thinking about my Christmas list.
So I assume.
Yes. Perhaps I should explain further, Miss Fitch. Passion flower is the name of a perfume.
I know. I use it exclusively myself.
Oh, maybe I better give it a little more thought then. You know, Miss Fitch, I had the most awful dream last night.
I don't wonder.
Yes, I dreamed that I hadn't done a bit of Christmas shopping, which I haven't. But I also dreamed that it was the day before Christmas. I want to tell you I was frantic.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I don't want to spoil your dream, but it is the day before Christmas.
What? It can't be.
But it is.
What happened to all those other days? There's a whole week I've lost track of.
You've been working too hard. You've been going around here in a fog.
Oh, but I haven't bought a single present. I haven't had breakfast. Haven't even had a shave. Oh, this is really going to be one of my bad days.
Come right in, Mr. Gildersleeve. You're next. No waiting.
Good morning, Floyd.
Gee, Mr. Gildersleeve, you look like the grapes of wrath.
Yes, I had a hard night last night, Floyd.
What happened? Did you run into some friends?
No. I worked all night at the office.
That's what they all say.
I told you, Floyd, I worked all night at the office.
Okay, you worked all night at the office.
I haven't had any breakfast either, so let's skip the conversation and make it a quick shave.
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve, if that's the way you want it, that's the way it'll be. This is one place where the customer is always right.
That's fine.
If a man comes in here and doesn't feel like talking, that's all right with me. I can take a hint.
Good.
One thing I know how to do is hold my tongue.
Good.
I'm not like some barbers who go into their shop and they talk your ear off from the time you get into the chair to the time you get out of it.
Good.
I want people to feel they can come in here and just relax and not have to listen to a whole lot of stuff.
Fine.
Not that I haven't got my troubles like everybody else, but I keep them to myself.
Good.
Now, like last night, I came home after a long day and my wife had dinner waiting for me, ham hocks and sauerkraut. So we had that and some apple pie, and after dinner I took off my shoes and turned on the radio. I was just getting comfortable, and my wife's sister calls up. And what do you think she wants? Come right over and play pinochle. Well, if you know my wife's sister. So I said to my wife, I said, nothing doing. I said, I'm all set here, I'm comfortable, and right here is where I'm staying.
Good.
I said, you couldn't move me out of here with a 10-ton truck. So we went over and played pinochle for a while, and then come in, Judge, come in. Just finishing up with Mr. Gildersleeve here.
He hasn't even started on me yet.
Why, I'll have you shaved in 2 shakes.
See that you don't, brother.
I thought I'd find you here, Gildersleeve.
How are you, Judge? What's on your mind?
I just dropped in to serve notice on you, Gildersleeve, that after your recent performance, I'm not giving you any remembrance this Christmas. And please do not embarrass me by giving me any. Good day.
Good day. Wait a minute. I don't know what you're talking about, Horace. I haven't seen you in a week. I've been very busy.
Yeah, I'll say you've been busy. Busy over at Mrs. Ransom's.
Judge, I haven't even had time.
Don't deny it. The minute I told you I'd bought a ring, you went scurrying over there to try to cut me out. Was that the act of a friend?
Well, Judge, the best laid plans of mice and men gang after Glay. Yeah, that's Scotch. What's the matter? Did she turn you down?
Wouldn't you like to think so? Well, she didn't. She merely asked for time to consider.
It's the same thing. If she considers it, she won't do it. When is she giving you her answer, Judge?
As soon as she gets back from Savannah.
Savannah? Now, that'll show you how innocent I am, Judge. I didn't even know she was going to Savannah.
Now, don't try to give me that. You know as well as I do that she's going home to see her brother.
On my word, Judge, I told you I've been busy this week. I haven't seen anybody.
I don't know what your game is, Gildy, but this time it isn't going to work. I know all about Leila's plans, and I intend to be out at that airport today at 12 sharp to see her off.
So do I, Judge, and thanks for the tip. 12 o'clock at the airport, is it? Well, if it hadn't been for you, I might have missed saying goodbye to her. Yeah.
Gildersleeve, I've borne a lot from you, but this is the last straw. You now place me in the unpleasant position of having to ask you hereafter to do me the favor not to speak to me.
Oh, anything for a friend, Judge. You know that.
Floyd, Merry Christmas.
Bye, Judge. Same to you.
Floyd, get going. I got a lot of ground to cover between now and Christmas. I wonder if I'm in time. I wonder if she's left yet. Leila, have you left yet?
Well, of all people, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Leila, why didn't you tell me you were going away?
I didn't suppose you'd care whether I came or went after the way you treated me last Saturday.
I can explain that, Leila. You see?
Pray, don't bother. I'm hardly in the habit of having gentlemen run out on me without so much as a by your leave.
Leila, let's talk this over. Aren't you going to invite me in?
Well, if you're going to break my door down, I suppose I'll have to. But I'm leaving right away. I've got all my bags packed, and I'm expecting a gentleman to call for me any minute.
I know. Hooker.
I'm not saying who it is, but he's more of a gentleman than you are.
Leila, about last Saturday, Bertie came back unexpectedly, and I had to go down to the station to meet her.
Did you ever come back?
But Leila...
Did I ever hear word from you all week?
But I haven't had a minute. I've had to get out the annual report of the water department. And if you know what that means...
I know what it means. It means you care more for your old waterworks than you do for me. All I can say is I'm glad I'm going away.
Oh, now, Leila.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Leila, don't be like that. Leila. Oh, help. Somebody help. Look, Leila, I bought you a present.
You brought me a what?
A present. A Christmas present. You see? It's got Santa Claus on it. You see? He's waving to you. Go on, wave to Leila, Santa.
Oh, Throckmorton, you're such a fool. And you didn't forget, did you?
Forget? How could I forget? After what happened the last time I saw you.
What happened, Throckmorton?
Don't you remember?
Certainly. I just wanted to see whether you remember.
By George, if there were any mistletoe around here, I'd show you whether I remember or not.
Do you have to have mistletoe? Oh, gracious. It must be time to leave.
Oh, Leila, don't go to Savannah. It's not patriotic to travel now.
Oh, but I have to, Throckmorton. My only brother Marvin is leaving for the Navy.
Oh.
Leila, we haven't got any time to lose.
Come in, George. Oh, you were so sweet to call for me, Judge.
Not at all, not at all. A pleasure.
My bag's already here, and I have a nice surprise for you. Throckmorton's coming to the airport with us.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's got his car. I'm afraid there won't be room in mine.
Tell the judge we wouldn't think of crowding him, Leila. You can come with me, and he can take the bags.
Oh, yeah? Well, you tell Gildersleeve for me.
Nonsense. Now, we can all ride in one car. We'll put the bags in back and all ride in the front seat.
Leila, you either overestimate my seat or you underestimate Gildersleeve.
All right, let him take the bags up front with him. You and I'll ride him back, Leila.
Oh, no.
Now, we're going to be late. Who's going to carry out my bag?
I've got him.
Yeah, not. I got this one first. Now, let go.
Boys! No fighting now, you hear?
Good.
Throckmorton gets to carry the suitcase and the hat box, and Horace gets the overnight case.
Oh, Throckmorton gets everything.
Say, don't forget your present, Leila.
Oh, gracious, Throckmorton's present. Pick it up when you come, will you, Judge?
This thing?
Be careful of that, Hooker.
Come on. The plane leaves in half an hour.
37 to Savannah. All passengers aboard, please.
That's you, Leila. That's your plane.
Oh, my goodness, I'm so excited. You know, I've never been in a flying machine before in my life.
I've got a good notion to come with you, Leila.
Oh, I wish you could.
Yeah, I think I'll stow away on the plane.
I'll bet you would, too, Throckmorton.
That blimp? There isn't room to stow him away on the B-19.
No, look here, Hooker.
Boys, this is Christmas Eve. Peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
Well, he started it.
I don't care who started it. I want you both to promise me one thing before I go.
What's that?
Promise me you'll both be friends while I'm gone. Come on now, shake hands. Shake hands, Throckmorton. Come on.
Well, all right.
That's better. Now you write to me every day, you hear?
I will, Leila.
I'll write twice a day.
So will I.
No, you won't.
I will, too.
Now. You're so impulsive, you boys. I want you to do me another favor.
Anything you say, Leila.
I want you both to spend Christmas together, just thinking about me.
Mrs. Ransom?
Yes?
We're holding the plane for you.
For me? Oh, how nice. I'll be right along. Oh, my, isn't he handsome in his uniform and all? I wonder if he's going, too.
Goodbye, Leila.
Oh, goodbye, Throckmorton.
I'll be waiting for your answer, Leila.
My answer? Oh, yes. Now, remember, you two, you're going to be good friends, and don't you dare open your present till Christmas, you hear?
Mrs. Ransom, the plane is waiting.
Oh, my goodness. I'm in such demand here, I hardly know what I'm doing.
Just come with me, please.
With you? Oh, you know, Captain, this is my first trip on a flying machine.
Captain, I'll bet he's not even a sergeant.
Have a pleasant trip, Leila.
Yes, she will.
Well, there she goes.
Yeah, she'll soon be 5,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, dearie me. Now, isn't that too bad?
What?
Something I forgot to give her.
Huh?
Your Christmas present for Leila I'm still carrying.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. Nowadays, it's really a homemaker's duty to see that her family gets the right kind of foods. Yes, and it's just as much her duty to keep her food budget in line. Well, there's one important food that helps you do both these jobs. And that food is economical Parquet margarine, the delicious, nutritious spread for bread made by Kraft. Parquet margarine is one of the kinds of foods that our government recommends for good nutrition. That's because it's so wholesome and nourishing. Actually, Parquet is one of the best energy foods you can serve. What's more, every pound of Parquet margarine contains 9,000 units of vitamin A, making it a really dependable source of this important vitamin the year round. Economical Parquet, you know, is widely known as the margarine that tastes so deliciously good. So why not start serving it to your family tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow, sure. Ask your food dealer for Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet, the delicious vegetable margarine made by Kraft. Now let's see what's happened to the Great Gildersleeve. After a frantic 3-hour battle in Hogan Brothers department store, he bursts out of the store with his arms full of bundles and his hat over his ear.
Christmas. There ought to be a law against Christmas.
Oh, there, Gildersleeve. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Dr. Pettibone. If you see anything the matter with me, please keep it to yourself till after the holidays.
But you're looking fine, old man. I was going to remark on it.
Oh, do you think so?
Never saw you looking better. Maybe those old arteries are beginning to soften for a change.
Pettibone, I'm in no mood for the humor of the dissection room.
Oh, come, Gildersleeve. A cheery smile will do more for your digestion than all the Epsom salts in the world. Come on, Gildersleeve. Let me hear you say ha-ha.
Ha-ha.
Oh. You can do better than that. Come on. Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. That's better.
Yeah.
That's enough now. That's fine. Just keep smiling, and your gastric juices will thank you.
My dear. Let me see now. I got a present for everybody except Judge Hooker. That's fine. Well, hi, George. It's beginning to feel like Christmas. Yeah. Hooker. Well, I wonder if I should break down and get Hooker a present. After what he pulled on me this afternoon, I know, but maybe he really did forget to give Leila that package. After all, this is Christmas. No time to bear a grudge. He isn't going to give me a present, though. I heard him say so. Yeah, but you can't trust him, Gildersleeve. He's just sneaky enough to go and do it. I could give him a little present, not a very good one. I could stop in here and get him something kind of cheap at the drugstore. I think I will.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas just like you are. Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Peavy. I didn't know that you were musically inclined, Peavy.
Well, no, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I do find myself humming a tune occasionally when I'm alone here in the shop.
Oh, you know what they say. It's music makes the world go round. Or is it love?
Did you ever listen to this fellow Crosby, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Crosby? Oh, yes, yeah.
Quite a singer.
One of the best. As a matter of fact, I've been compared to him once. Well, I was.
Usually I like to listen to him on Thursday night. So does Mrs. Peavy.
Oh, Mrs. Peavy's a music lover, too, huh?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, one of the things I'm giving her for Christmas is an album of records. Selections by John Philip Sousa.
Yes.
He happened to be playing at the Steel Pier when we were on our honeymoon.
Oh. Well, between Crosby and Sousa, you can't go wrong. Hey, maybe you can help me out, Peavy. I came here to find a Christmas present.
Oh, something for a friend?
Well, I don't know that he's a friend, but I got to get him something.
Well, I dare say we can find something suitable, Mr. Gildersleeve. Now, let's see.
He doesn't have to be too suitable.
Well, what sort of thing does your friend like?
He doesn't even have to like it. It just has to be a present.
Well, that makes it rather difficult. If you could give me some idea.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm buying it for Judge Hooker.
Judge Hooker? Well, it's a small world, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, is it, Peavy?
Would you believe it? Judge Hooker was in here not over an hour ago selecting a present for you.
Oh, so this is the kind of place he comes to buy me presents, is it?
I think you have a pleasant surprise in store for you, Mr. Gildersleeve. This gift is not the sort of thing you'd expect to find in a drugstore.
I'd like to know anything you wouldn't expect to find in a drugstore. Tell me, Peavy, what did he buy me?
Oh, well, no, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. Professional ethics, you know.
But I want to know how good a present to buy him. At least you can tell me how much it cost.
No, but I believe I can say without betraying any confidence that it was under $5.
Good. Good. Now we're getting someplace. What have you got for an old goat that costs less than $5?
Well, I've got a special on a fountain pen set here.
Huh?
You see, it says double-barreled, self-filling, iridium point, streamlined lucite case, special patented clip, indestructible, guaranteed to last till eternity.
Is it any good?
It's all right. You can't expect everything for $3.98.
Yes. You say it's guaranteed to last till eternity. Well, how long is that? 10 years?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
5 years?
If you don't drop it. Of course, if you don't care for the fountain pen, I have other things. I have an 8-day clock here, but the thing about that is...
I know. You have to wind it too often. Now, I'll take the fountain pen. May not last forever, but neither will Hooker.
I suppose you'd like it wrapped as a gift.
Wrapped as a gift? What does that mean?
Take the price tag off.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Does this pen cost more than the present the judge is giving me or less?
Well, the pen is slightly more expensive.
Then leave the tag on it. I'll just take it as it is. Charge that, will you, Peavy? Hogan Brothers got all my money.
Well, glad to, Mr. Gildersleeve. I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Peavy, and the same to Mrs. Peavy. You know, Leroy, maybe it's this green bulb that's making the trouble.
It do look a little tired.
Why don't you unscrew the bulb and stick the screwdriver in there?
Oh, never do that, my boy. You could blow out every fuse in the house. Besides, you can get a nasty shock that way.
Well, that's what the electrician did when he fixed the lights last year. I saw him.
Well, those electrician fellows are immune to electricity. Let me have that other bulb there, will you, Bertie?
Yes, sir. You know, Mr. Gildersleeve, when my vacuum cleaner starts acting up, I got a sure cure for it.
Well, a vacuum cleaner is not like a light circuit, Bertie.
Well, maybe not, but to me, all them electrical things is about the same. Goes in there and comes out here, and you better stay out of the way.
Well, the trouble here doesn't appear to be the green bulb. What is your cure, Bertie?
Well, sir, I pull the plug out, and I turn it around, and I shake the bag 3 times and put the plug back. It ain't never failed yet.
Well, we've tried everything else.
Yes, I can remember when we didn't bother with these electrical gadgets on Christmas trees. We just used candles. Set the house on fire every year, but it was a lot simpler. Well, go ahead and let's try your system, Bertie.
All right. Stand back, Leroy. Now, pull the plug, turn it around, shake the cord. 1, 2, 3. Put the plug back.
Well, I'll be. Bertie, you're a genius. Marjorie, come on in and see the beautiful tree.
Oh, it's beautiful. Let's turn off all the other lights and see how it looks.
Hey, that's super.
Oh, it's lovely. Isn't it, Uncle Mort?
Yes, it is. It's lovely.
That's the prettiest tree I ever saw in my life. Reminds me of the World's Fair.
Well, it's not as big a tree as we've had other years, but when you think of all the people who aren't going to have any Christmas tree at all this year.
You know what gets me? Every year, Uncle Mort says, well, don't expect much this year, kids. We're going to have to cut down and just have a very small Christmas.
I know.
And every year seems like there's more presents than ever.
Oh, Uncle Mort, you've been so good to us. You've been like Santa Claus and Daddy and our favorite uncle, all rolled into one.
Yeah, you're a swell, Unc.
Now.
I made some of them Christmas cookies special for you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Shall I bring them in?
Well, I can't think of a better time for Christmas cookies than right now, Bertie.
I'll go get them.
Yeah, cookies. I think I'm going to like this Christmas.
Hey, Unc, can we open just one present, can we, huh?
Well, don't you think you ought to wait till Christmas, my boy?
Oh, but you always let us open just one. I'll pick a little one.
Well, all right then. Just a little one.
Come on, Marge. You pick one of yours and I'll pick one of mine.
Now, let's see what you got first.
Gee, thanks, Unc. A war bond. Just what I needed.
Yes, not what you needed, maybe, but what the country needed. I know it may be something of a disappointment to you.
No, I think it's swell. I don't care if I didn't get a Model P-47 with a motor in it.
Well, it may mean that somebody else will get a real P-47 with a real motor in it. You have to think of that, my boy.
Yeah, I just wish I was the fellow who's going to fly it, that's all. Open yours, Marge. Let's see what you got.
I think I know. Is it, Uncle Mort?
Well, you open it and see.
You remembered.
What you got there, Miss Marjorie?
Every year he gives me one. Listen. Oh, it's a darling one. I love music boxes, and I love Christmas. Merry Christmas, Uncle Mort.
Merry Christmas, my dear. Who's that?
I'll go. Maybe it's Santa Claus. Well, for goodness sake, come in, Judge.
Good evening, Bertie. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Judge.
Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Hello, Marjorie.
Merry Christmas, Judge.
Would you be good enough to ask your uncle, Marjorie, whether he's in?
Ask the judge whether he's blind.
Oh, so that's your attitude. Well, you may recall, Throckmorton, that we gave a certain lady our promise that during her absence we would be friends.
Yes, I recall it vaguely.
Well, I, for one, am a man of my word. It's customary for friends to exchange tokens this holiday season. For that reason, and for no other, I have brought you a slight gift. Here.
Oh. Well, now that you mention it, I have one for you. There.
Throckmorton. You old son of a gun.
Yeah. Horace, you old goat, you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. By George, now it is a Merry Christmas.
Throckmorton, what do you say we open each other's presents, huh?
Okay, let's do it.
I just can't wait. Oh. That everlasting fountain pen.
Ooh, that 8-day clock.
Throckmorton, I think Brother Peavy unloaded something on us.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that. On behalf of the Kraft Cheese Company and the cast of our program, I'd like to wish all of our listeners a very Merry Christmas and the happiest possible New Year. There are many of us for whom it'll be difficult to be merry this Christmas, with loved ones far away and families divided. But let's try to keep up the Christmas tradition for the sake of the men who are fighting to preserve it. And to those men also fighting in foxholes and slit trenches, on the sea and in the air, north, east, south, and west, we also send our Christmas good wishes. God bless you all. Good night, everybody.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by Billy Mills. This is Ken Carpenter speaking to the makers of Kraft Cheese and inviting you to tune in again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
81 years ago, December 20th, 1942, the Great Gildersleeve. We mentioned earlier that Fibber McGee and Molly was a spin-off of the Great Gildersleeve was a spin-off of Fibber McGee and Molly. Well, the Harold Peary Show was kind of a spin-off of the Great Gildersleeve. We'll explain why in just a moment.
Americans have always been noted for their know-how. And you young men in search of a career, you can put this practical talent to excellent use in one of our nation's many engineering schools. At the present time, we need engineers. We need them to maintain our scientific and engineering superiority. So look to your future, to America's future. Plan now to become an engineer.
So CBS back in 1948, 49, 50, it did a lot of talent raids. They went and convinced a lot of sponsors and advertisers and performers to move from NBC to CBS. And one of those shows that made the move was not the Great Gildersleeve. The reason was CBS signed Harold Peary, thinking that, well, you know, he's the star of Gildersleeve. He'll come over. Well, the Kraft Cheese Company, Kraft Food Company, whatever you want to call them, decided, no, we're staying with NBC. And so CBS stuck with a contract for Harold Peary, had to do something with it. And so they signed Harold Peary and created a whole show that was, let's face it, it was a ripoff of the Great Gildersleeve. You had lots of the same characterizations, and you had lots of things very similar. And Willard Waterman took over as the Great Gildersleeve, but refused to do Gildy's laugh, which I thought, Harold Peary's laugh, which I thought was the gentlemanly thing to do. In this episode of the one-season Harold Peary Show, an episode from 73 years ago, December 20th, 1950, Honest Harold, the homemaker, is having a children's Christmas party.
The Harold Peary Show. And now Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, there's a white mantle of snow over the little town of Melrose Springs, and the air is cold and frosty. But there's warmth and good cheer in the hearts of young and old alike, for Christmas is only 2 days away. Let's look in on the home of Honest Harold, where we find his mother just putting the presents under the Christmas tree.
Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. And now, this is for Harold, and this one's for Raymond. Through the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Bells on bobsleds ring, making spirits bright.
Hello, Harold.
Hello, Mother. Well, look at all those wonderful presents under the tree. Christmas is certainly a grand time of the year.
It certainly is.
Yeah, it makes you love everybody. I even love my boss, Stanley Peabody. Yeah.
Oh, Harold.
Well, I do, Mother. Well, got to get downtown now. We're having an important meeting of our reindeer club this afternoon.
That reindeer club was a wonderful idea of yours, Harold.
Thank you, Mother. I just thought it'd be nice if some of us fellows got together and gave the children in this town a big Christmas party. A lot of presents, a Santa Claus, and everything.
Well, that's the true Christmas spirit, Harold. Who's in your club?
Well, there are 4 of us, reindeer. Prancer, that's me. Dasher, that's old Doc Yancey. Comet is Pete the Marshal. And Stanley Peabody is Donder. Should have been Donderhead.
Now, remember your Christmas spirit.
Of course, Mother. At the meeting this afternoon, we're going to elect a Santa Claus. But the election is just a formality. They'll probably pick me unanimously. The whole club was my idea.
Won't that be nice? My son, Santa Claus.
Yeah. Well, better get started, Mother. May not be home for dinner after the meeting. I've got some shopping to do.
Well, I'll leave the front door unlocked for you.
Oh, don't bother, Mother. Remember, I'm going to be Santa Claus. I'll just come down the chimney. Yeah. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Oh, I got a big boat.
Quiet, fellas.
Well.
Meeting of the Order of Noble Reindeer, Herd 1 of Melrose Springs will kindly come to order. Brother Comet will now call the roll. Brother Comet, that's you, Pete.
Yeah.
Some Comet.
Let me see here now. Where's my list? Brother Prancer.
That's me, present.
Brother Dasher. Brother Dasher.
That's you, Doc.
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Ye gods, Doc, can't you even remember your name?
Oh, you're out of order, Harold. Well, reindeer, I move we send Prancer to bed without his oats. Brother Donder?
I, Stanley Peabody, am present.
Listen to Prissy Pants.
Brother Comet. Brother Comet.
That's you, Pete.
Oh, I didn't see myself.
Let's get down to business, fellows. Fellow reindeer, I am happy to report that our preparations for the Christmas party are going full speed ahead. And we're getting a lot of letters from the children telling us what they want in their Christmas stocking.
Brother Prancer, here's a letter from a kid I'd like to read.
Oh, good. Go ahead, Doc.
Dear Reindeer Club, when I wake up Christmas morning, what I want to find in my Christmas stocking is Linda Darnell.
What smart aleck kid wrote that?
I did.
Doc.
Only joking, Harold. Oh, I'm right behind you on this Christmas party. In fact, I think you deserve a vote of thanks for all the hard work you've done.
Well, thank you, Doc. And I'd like to say to all of you that I've never worked with a nicer bunch of reindeer.
Brother Prancer.
Yes, Brother Donder? Stanley?
I suggest we elect our Santa Claus now.
Good idea.
I would like to nominate a man I think really deserves the job.
Well, go right ahead, Stanley, old friend.
Fellow reindeer, this man is one of our leading citizens of Melrose Springs, respected and loved by all. The man I refer to is none other than I, Stanley Peabody.
Wait a minute, I've been double-crossed.
I move the nominations be closed.
Just a minute, Stanley. This whole thing was my idea. I ought to be Santa Claus.
You, Hemp. Huh? What? The only qualification you have for Santa Claus is that you carry your own padding.
What a Santa Claus you'd make with those skinny legs. They look like 2 pipe cleaners with knees.
Oh, now, Donder.
Scarecrow.
Now, Prancer.
I move we postpone the election till tonight when we've all cooled down.
What?
Second.
And let's don't forget the spirit of Christmas, Brother Reindeer.
Merry Christmas, Hemp.
Merry Christmas, Stanley. Hope he trips over a Yule log. Certainly crowded downtown. Everybody's getting ready for a Merry Christmas. Hello, Mrs. Delachopper? I don't feel very merry, I can tell you that. I'd be Santa Claus right now if it wasn't for that Peabody. I went and bought him a hand-painted necktie for Christmas. Ought to return it and get my 98 cents back. Oh, well.
Why, Harold!
Huh? Oh, hello, Theodora.
Oh, I feel so Christmassy, don't you? The snow, all those decorations in the windows, and the happy music.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Harold? Something wrong with my little holly berry?
Well... You know, I wanted to be Santa Claus at the children's Christmas party.
Didn't your reindeer club pick you?
Well, Stanley Peabody wanted to be Santa Claus, too, so now we have to have an election tonight.
Oh, Harold, that's nothing to worry about. I'm sure your friends will vote for you.
Well, I guess so.
Sure. And you'll make a wonderful Santa Claus, Teddy Bear.
Yeah.
And I hope Santa will come to my house. I've got some mistletoe over the door.
You have?
Uh-huh. And you know what mistletoe is for?
Sure do. You stand on your toes and then we both mistle. Yeah.
Oh, Harold. Well, I have some shopping to do.
Yeah?
Here's a present for you, Sandy Wanty. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Wonderful girl.
Hello, Harold!
Oop. There's Doc. And his horse and buggy. Better make sure the old horse doctor is going to vote for me tonight. Hey, just a minute, Doc.
Oh, Silver Moon. Oh. What is it, Brother Prancer?
Well, Brother Dasher, I just wondered...
Look at my horse, Silver Moon, Harold. Don't she look sweet with that mistletoe in her ear?
Mistletoe? Doc, there aren't any other horses in this town for her to kiss.
I know, but she goes around kissing automobiles.
Yeah.
It's the spirit of the thing.
Oh, brother. Doc, about the election.
You know, my animals are so excited they love Christmas time.
Oh?
I'm out now buying their presents.
What are you whispering about, Doc?
I don't want Silver Moon to hear me.
Huh?
She's only 24 years old, but she still believes in Santa Claus.
Doc, please, I want
to... I just don't know what to get for Arthur, my goat.
Your goat?
Yeah. Last year, I got him an erector set, but he ate it.
Oh. Doc, will you listen to me for a moment? I want to talk to you about the election this evening. I suppose you're going to vote for me as Santa Claus. Aren't you, old pal?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Now, look, Doc.
Get up, Silver Moon. It's the whole about of holly.
Old Doc Yak Yak certainly thinks he's smart. For 2 cents, I'd tell his horse there isn't any Santa Claus. Say, maybe I better drop into the marshal's office a minute and make sure Pete's going to vote for me tonight. Hello, Pete.
Oh, hello, Brother Prancer.
Pete, about the election tonight, I suppose you're going
How do you like this little Christmas tree I'm decorating, Harold?
Oh, looks beautiful. Pete,
I'm fixing this tree from a prisoner, Orville the Dip.
Orville the Dip? When did you arrest him?
Oh, I didn't arrest him. He broke into jail last night.
Broke in? I've never heard of a crook doing that.
Oh, Orville isn't a crook anymore, Harold. He's retired.
Oh.
Poor old fella. Gets kind of lonesome for jail around the holidays.
Oh?
Yeah, likes to be in familiar surroundings.
Yeah. Oh, Pete, it's against the law to keep a man in jail if he hasn't committed a crime.
I know that. I've put Orville out 3 times, but he keeps breaking back in. Harold, you'd like Orville. He's one of the nicest ex-safecrackers you ever met.
Pete, what I came in here...
Oh, excuse me, I hope I'm not intruding. Oh, hello, Orville. I'd like you to meet an old friend of mine, Honest Hal. Honest Harold, meet Orville the Dip.
Very, very happy to make your acquaintance, sir.
How do you do?
How do you like the tree, Orville?
It's lovely. It'll look beautiful in my cell. What a happy Yuletide this'll be.
Oh, I'm glad to do it, Orville.
You're very kind. This is just like being home for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Pete, I want to return your watch.
His watch?
Yes, I lifted it when you brought my lunch in, Pete.
Ew.
I'm sorry. Lifetime habits are hard to break, you know.
Forget it, Orville.
Oh, thank you. Excuse me, gentlemen. I'll return to my cell now.
Orville took my watch. Ain't that a doozy?
What a jail. Pete, look, are you going to vote for me tonight?
You know, he must have lifted it while I was pouring his Sanka. Oh, he's a sly one.
Pete!
You know what he did yesterday, Harold? He lifted my handcuffs.
He must have lifted your brains, too. I'll see you at the meeting tonight.
Brother Reindeer, as recorder, I will now count the votes for Santa Claus. Have you all put your ballots in the hat? Harold?
Mine's in.
Stanley Peabody?
My vote is cast.
My vote is cast. Pete?
In the slot, boy.
Well, mine's in. Polls are closed. Let me see here now.
Hope I get it. I just gotta be Santa Claus.
One vote for Stanley Peabody.
Oop. I bet he's gonna get it.
One vote for Harold Hemp.
Well, I wonder who's gonna get the next vote.
One vote for Alf Landon.
What?
I'm only kidding. It's for Harold Hemp.
Oh, well.
And so's the last vote. It's Harold Hemp for Santa Claus by a snowslide.
Thank you. Fine fellas.
Congratulations, Hemp. I guess you won the election.
Oh, well, don't feel bad, Stanley. You carried Maine and Vermont. Gosh, it's wonderful. I'm going to be Santa Claus. I can just see those kids at the Christmas party tonight. The smiles on their little faces when I hand them their presents.
Good evening, Mr. Hemp.
Orville the Dip. Hello. Hey, what are you doing out?
We need some more Christmas lights for the tree. I'm going to drop in one of the stores and pick some up.
I bet he will, too.
I heard you singing. You must be in good spirits tonight, Mr. Hemp.
Oh, yes, I am, Orville. You see, I was just elected to play Santa Claus for the children tomorrow night.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Hemp. Please accept my congratulations.
Well, thank you, Orville.
I can't tell you how I envy you.
Huh?
Well, this may seem strange to you, but the one ambition of my life has been to play Santa Claus to a group of happy children.
Oh, it has?
You see, I've had rather a lonely life, Mr. Hemp. No family, no friends.
Oh, I see.
Yes, the way of the transgressor is bitter and lonely, especially at this season of the year. One misses the warmth of friendship and the laughter of little children.
Yeah.
Of course, I know it is not for me to share in the joys of Christmas time. I must accept my lot.
Well,
But I'm very happy for you. What a heartwarming experience that will be, to bring happiness to all those children, to be loved by them and trusted.
Yeah, guess so.
Well, I'd better be getting back. Merry Christmas, Mr. Hemp.
Merry. Orville?
Yes?
You know, it really doesn't mean so much to me, playing Santa Claus. Why don't you take my place?
Mr. Hemp, do you mean that?
Sure.
Why, I don't know what to say. I can't believe it. I can't tell you how happy you've made me.
Well, that's what Christmas is for, Orville. To make other people happy. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus.
return for the second act of our story, Honest Harold, in just a moment. One of the top events of the holiday season, the Bing Crosby Show, heard every Wednesday on most of these same CBS stations. Don't miss this evening's show with Bing, the four Crosby boys, and Dixie Lee, Mrs. Crosby, in their family Christmas program. And be sure to listen for Harold Peary's important announcement at the close of our show. And now, back to Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, there's a nice little glow in the heart of Honest Harold this morning. He gave up his chance to play Santa Claus at the children's Christmas party in order to bring happiness to a lonely old man. And Harold's feeling pretty happy himself. Or at least he was, until he got orders to report to the office of his boss, Stanley Peabody.
Hemp, what's this I hear about you letting that ex-safecracker take your place as Santa Claus?
Oh, you mean Orville?
Yes. Hemp, you've done some moronic things in your life, but this time you've broken your record.
Well, thank you. Oop.
Trusting a man who's been a criminal. I hope you've got all those presents in a safe place.
You don't have to worry about the presents, Stanley. I gave them to Orville last night. They're perfectly safe in his cell.
What? He's probably absconded with them by this time.
Oh, no. Orville is reformed, Stanley. He's going straight now.
That's what they all say. But it's pretty hard to break the habits of a lifetime.
What?
Suppose your Santa Claus decides to crack a safe or something. We'll all be disgraced.
Well, you don't have to worry about Orville, Stanley. I know human nature, and I trust him.
Well, I don't.
Now, Stanley, this means a lot to Orville, and I'm not going to let him down. The trouble with you is you don't have faith in people. Of course, that takes a little intelligence.
Hemp, I'll have you understand that intelligence reigns supreme in my family.
Oh? Well, you must have been born during a dry spell. Get out! Don't throw that! I'm leaving. Prissy pants can't worry me. Orville the Dip isn't going to crack any safe. I don't think.
Oh, hello, Harold.
Oh, good morning, Glory.
Oh, Harold, I think it's just wonderful you letting Orville take your place as Santa Claus.
Well, thanks, Gloria.
And I just hope it all comes out all right.
What?
Well, it'd be awful if he turned out to be another Gentleman Willie.
Gentleman Willie?
Yes, he was a character in a movie I saw once. He went straight for 30 years, became president of a bank, then his mind snapped.
It did?
Yes. One night they caught him robbing his own bank. He just couldn't break the habit.
Thief.
Where are you going, Harold? You haven't heard the rest of the plot.
I know it. Goodbye. Wonder if I did make a mistake about Orville. Suppose his mind snapped. Like Gentleman Willie. Be awful if they caught Santa Claus cracking a safe. Oop. There he is. What's he doing? He's window shopping. Such a sweet face. How could anybody mistrust him? See, what store window is he looking in? Let's see. J.C. Penney, Frank the Grocer. Whoop! He's window shopping in front of the bank. Better see what he's up to. I'll sneak up on him. Fine way to spend Christmas tailing Santa Claus. Well, I'll just walk.
Well, hello, Mr. Hemp.
Hello, Orville. What are you doing?
Oh, just reminiscing.
Oh?
Used to have a lot of fun breaking into these small-town banks.
Yeah, I bet it was a lot of laughs.
See that vault in there through the window?
Vault?
Yes. I used to open those tin cans with a hairpin.
You did?
Yes. Got a hairpin on you?
Well, I'll get you. What?
Only joking, Mr. Hemp. Yes, in the old days, robbing this bank would have been a trifle.
Uh-huh.
I'd come down here when it's dark, pick the lock on the front door, whoop, walk in quietly, but shh. Now we come to the vault.
We do?
I turn the tumblers 2 to the right, 4 to the left, 3 to the right.
Whoop, whoop.
It's open. Now, I'll put the money in the suitcases. Here, you hold the flashlight.
All right.
Then I make my getaway. I'm on my way to South America.
Orville, come back.
Don't worry, Mr. Hemp. I gave all that up years ago.
Oh, good.
Well, I'd better be going. See you tonight.
Yeah, goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Hemp. Here's your watch.
What?
It certainly is hard to break a lifetime habit.
Harold.
Yes, Mother?
My, but you're fidgety tonight. Why do you keep looking out the window?
Well, I'm waiting for Santa Claus.
Oh, isn't that sweet? But Santa won't come until you've gone to bed. And then he'll steal down the chimney.
I hope he doesn't steal the chimney.
What?
I'm talking about Oroville, Mother. I'm getting worried. He's supposed to come by and pick me up on the way to the children's Christmas party.
Oh, yes, of course.
Old Doc Yak Yak let him use his horse and buggy to load the presents in. I can't understand why he's so late.
No, don't worry, son. He'll come skipping by.
I hope he hasn't skipped bye-bye.
It's a good thing Orville is not robbing banks anymore.
Ah?
I read in the paper that the lumber company just deposited their biggest payroll today, $20,000.
Oh?
And that would be a wonderful opportunity for a bank robber.
Yeah, sure would.
Oh, Harold, the funniest thing happened today. I ran into Orville downtown, and do you know what he asked me for? A hairpin.
He did?
Yes. I wonder what he's going to do with a hairpin.
I think I know. See you later, Mother. I'm going down to the bank.
But, Harold, the bank isn't open.
That's what you think. I've got to get down there in time to stop Orville. Brother, this is awful. Santa Claus, a bank robber. Just hope it's all a mistake. Oop, it's no mistake. There's a horse and buggy in front of the bank. Somebody's coming out of there. Santa Claus, carrying a big bag. Something tells me it's not full of toys. Getting in the buggy. Probably off to South America. Santa Claus, just a minute. Santa Claus, come back. Santa Claus. Oh, brother, what a Christmas party this is going to be. Got to tell Pete the Marshal about Oroville robbing the bank. How am I going to explain this to all those little children? I can't tell them Santa Claus is on the lam. Their whole Christmas will be ruined. It's all my fault. Thought if I showed Oroville I had faith in him and believed in him. Oh, well, guess I was wrong. Listen to those children in there. I'll just peek in the window. Look at them. All standing around that big Christmas tree. Nothing on the floor. Waiting for Santa Claus. I think I'll sneak in the side door here.
Hello, Harold.
Hello, Doc.
Merry Xmas, boy.
Hello, Pete.
You're late, Hemp.
Hello, Stanley.
All the children are in the other room. Gloria's having an awful time keeping them quiet. Where's that Santa Claus of yours?
Well, fellas, the reindeer, there's something I got to tell you.
Is something wrong, Hemp?
Well, you see, fellas...
All right, Hemp, come to the point. Where's your Santa Claus?
Well, here I am.
Orville!
Oh, my deepest apologies for being late, but I had to stop by the bank.
The bank?
Yes. I broke in there last night and put the presents in the vault for safekeeping.
You did?
So I had to break in again tonight to get them out. I'm glad nobody saw me and thought I was robbing the bank.
Oh, yeah. Nobody saw you.
Well, you trusted me, Mr. Hemp, and I wasn't going to let anything happen to those presents I had in my cell. Anybody can break into that jail.
Yeah. You're so right.
Well, Santa Claus, the children are waiting.
Yes, Orville. The children are waiting for you.
What? Oh, yes. Well, here I go. Merry Christmas, children. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Santa Claus is there.
Yeah, this is a Merry Christmas. Fellas, reindeer, look at all those kids so happy with their toys.
Yeah,
And look at that little fella playing that drum. Ain't that a doozy?
Brother Reindeer, it looks like our Christmas party's a big success.
Yes, certainly is, Doc. And Orville.
Yes, Mr. Ham?
I certainly want to thank you for being such a wonderful Santa Claus.
Mr. Ham, I can't tell you how much tonight has meant to me. I'll never forget those little children. I'll carry their laughter in my heart as long as I live. And I owe it all to you. Thanks. Thanks very much.
Don't mention it, Orville. And I want to thank you, too. You've taught us all something. That we should never lose our faith in the goodness of people.
Oh, Harold, they're all ready for you to sing your Christmas carol.
Oh, all right, Gloria, just the way we rehearsed it. Excuse me, Orville. Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for your overwhelming response to my request for presents for the wounded GIs from Korea who were hospitalized at the Travis Air Base. We've already received more than 10,000 gifts, which I'll deliver to the boys when I fly up there to play Santa Claus for them this very weekend. You still have a few days to send in your gifts. Remember, the address is Harold Peary, Post Office Box 150, Los Angeles 53. Harold Peary, Post Office Box 150, Los Angeles 53. Again, let me say thank you. Your gifts will show these wonderful boys how much we appreciate the sacrifices they've made for us. And now, on behalf of all of us on the show, I want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow evening, Dennis Day is starring on Suspense, playing a chap who needs money to buy his sick wife a Christmas present. It's a brand new kind of role for Dennis, so don't miss him in Christmas for Carol on Suspense tomorrow evening. On CBS Thursday night Hallmark Playhouse, you will hear again the story of how Silent Night came to be written. Stay tuned now for the Bing Crosby Show, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. This is Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, where you hear Mr. Chameleon every Wednesday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You'll hear Christmas for Carol either tomorrow on the show. Well, actually, is it tomorrow on the show? Yes, you'll hear Christmas for 2 episodes of Suspense tomorrow on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. You'll hear Christmas for Carol from 1950, and you will hear an episode from 1958 starring Raymond Burr. 2 episodes of suspense, an episode of Lum and Abner, and we'll open with a couple of comedies. The Aldrich Family from 1952 and the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show from 1947. That'll be tomorrow. You just heard the Harold Peary Show, and God bless CBS. They tried. They put Harold Peary out there, but the show had very horrible writing. It was funny, but, it was kind of cringe. Harold Peary didn't succeed, and the Great Gildersleeve went on a few more years without him. December 20th, 1950, the Harold Peary Show on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll head to Dodge City, Kansas next for an episode of Gunsmoke.
Hello there, this is Jim Amici. A single tree can make 1,000,000 matches, but it takes only a single match to destroy 1,000,000 trees. So be careful with matches. Make sure your match or cook fire is dead out every time. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
I mentioned earlier, got distracted, but on Christmas Eve, you'll have an extra 10 hours of programs. Because what we're going to do is we're doing a program here locally on our Nevada Talk Network stations. And so you will get to hear some more old radio shows. That'll be on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. You can hear those by going to nevadatalknet.com and stream them beginning at noon Pacific time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern time. And figure out the individual delays where you are. But those will be just for a local sponsor here in Nevada. Now, William Conrad starring in an episode of Gunsmoke from 71 years ago, December 20th, 1952, and we'll hear an interesting Christmas story.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on west, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
Everything was all right until about a mile north of the Cimarron. That's when my horse got a hoof caught in a frozen dog hole and broke his leg. So I had to shoot him. It made me feel awful bad. I didn't feel any better thinking about the walk ahead of me. Close to 40 miles to Dodge and carrying my saddle all the way. Guess I'd been on the trail about an hour, near as I could figure it was around 3 in the afternoon. And I'd ease the saddle off my shoulders for a rest and a smoke. And that's when I saw the stranger riding up from the way I'd come. He was tall and thin, and his horse was taller and even thinner. Yeah, they made quite a pair.
Hi.
How are you?
You lost?
No. My horse busted his leg a way back. I'm on my way to Dodge.
Oh, that's your house, huh? I saw it.
Yeah.
On your way to Dodge, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
You got any more of that tobacco?
Yeah, sure. Here you are.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
That's okay.
Kind of a big walk you've got ahead, ain't it?
Kinda.
It's going to be dark soon. You figure making camp?
That's the idea.
Well, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Do you need any food?
No, thanks. I got enough.
Well, I thank you for the tobacco.
Sure. Anytime.
Hey.
Yeah?
Not saying this beast won't drop dead from the shock, but do you want to climb on behind? Save you a piece of boot leather for a while, anyway.
Why, I'd be much obliged if you think that animal of yours can carry us.
Well, she won't mind. Should have been dead a long time ago, except she don't know it. She don't mind.
Well, okay, thanks. Here, will you hold my saddle till I get up, huh?
Yeah, give it here.
Yeah.
Can you manage the saddle?
Yeah, give it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, let's go. You heading for Dodge, too?
Not in particular. Just north.
Uh-huh.
This beast'll do about 10 knots with the wind behind her, but we ain't gonna get more than 5 with this load. You ain't in no hurry, are you?
Well, I was kind of hoping to get back tonight. It's Christmas Eve, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right, ain't it?
Yeah.
That backbone of hers sticking it to you?
Oh, no, it's okay. Thanks.
Notice that tin doojigger tied to you. You with the law?
Yeah, I'm a U.S. Marshal. My name's Matt Dillon.
That's so. I never seen a marshal on foot.
Well, it happens sometimes.
How is it you're down this way? Isn't it a mite off your course? So you marshal down here as well as Dodge?
No, I just took a prisoner across the Cimarron into Oklahoma territory. Turned him over to the Army there.
Did, huh?
And then he shut up tight. We must have ridden a couple of miles without a word. I got to thinking about Dodge and Chester, Doc and Kitty and the rest of them. You know, there's something pretty special about any place at Christmas time. The backbone on the stranger's nag was just about to split me in two when he talked up.
My name is Cowley. Amos Cowley. We better heave to a spell. She's breathing mighty hard. All right, hold up. Yes.
Yeah, it's getting a little chilly, isn't it?
Yeah. Could I trouble you for another smoke?
Oh, sure. Here you are.
I thank you. Say, what's it like in Dodge?
What?
Dodge. Well, what's it like?
Oh, it's like any other town, I guess.
Pretty big, huh?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Not so big as New York, though.
Oh, no, not as big as that.
You know, I haven't been in a big town now for more than 10 years.
Oh, is that so?
No. Been down in the territories, drifting. Thought I'd move up north this time, maybe go back east.
So you're from the east, huh?
Some time back. Say, what's it like?
What?
Well, Dodge, any town. At Christmas. Same as it used to be?
Well, I guess so.
What do you do?
Well, same as most people, I guess. What most people do at Christmas.
Well, that ain't saying a lot. What are the folks like? And what does it look like? I just kind of like to know.
Well, I don't know. Well, there's Front Street. That's most of Dodge right now. Of course, it's getting bigger all the time.
Do you have any kids?
No, I'm not married.
Kids have fun Christmas.
Yeah, they do. That's certain. In Dodge, they sometimes have a party for the kids a couple of days before Christmas. Kids like that. And then everybody gets feeling good, looking forward to Christmas Eve. Like last year. There was snow on the ground, but the sky was clear. You could even see the stars. I was going down the street to the Texas Trail to meet Doc and Chester. Chester, he's my deputy. Doc's a doctor in town. We had some work to do later on in the evening. You could see the light shining behind the curtained windows, and Almost everybody had a sprig of holly berries hanging up. They got some from the east a couple of days earlier. I remember running into John Bumby. He's a kind of general handyman in Dodge. Never says much, but he sure had a lot to say that night.
Oh, hello, Marshal.
Oh, hi, John.
A lovely night for Christmas Eve, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, John.
Yeah.
Pretty fine night.
Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, that's the way it should be, John.
You know, Marshal, this is going to be quite a night for me. Yes, sir.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, yes, sir. Tonight, I'm asking Mrs. McNish to become Mrs. Bumby.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Why, John, I didn't know that.
Oh, I know it's been a mighty fast secret, but I'm popping the question tonight.
Well, I wish you a lot of luck, John. Hey, I'll tell you what. Come by to the Texas Trail later, and we'll have a drink on it.
Oh, I will. I really will, Marshal. You're good and kind, Marshal. Good and kind. Merry Christmas, Marshal Dillon. Merry Christmas.
Well, the same to you, John. That may sound kind of funny to you, but John Bumby's a good man. A little peculiar sometimes, but good as they come. And they don't make enough like him. Of course, most everybody in Dodge suspected Doc and Ms. McNish were sweet on each other. But it just goes to show you. I'll tell you about John and Ms. McNish a little later. So I went on down the street. You know, it's a funny thing about those words, Merry Christmas. Men say it to each other, and, well, it makes them feel kind of good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Used to be a seafaring man myself. When you're on the sea and it comes Christmas, things like that can count a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we might as well get underway again, huh?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you want to take my saddle?
Give it here.
Okay.
That's...
All right. Give it to me. Okay.
Come. I guess you'll miss it in Dodge tonight. I mean, won't you?
Well, if you could get a little more out of this nag of yours, we might make it tonight.
No, there's not a chance. She'll be on her beam ends pretty quick. She's been on a long reach since sunup.
Oh.
Mighty bare country up this way.
All right, depends on what you're used to, I suppose.
Well, mighty bare where I've been, too. It's not like the sea. That's always different.
How come you left it? I always heard a sailor doesn't ever get it out of his blood.
Or the sea? I guess you can get it out of your blood, all right. You got the right reason you can.
Yeah, I guess so.
Say, you trying to get something out of me?
But, well, no. Get what? I would just remark.
You want to ride with me? I don't want any talk about the sea.
Well, you brought it up.
Get it.
We will return for the second act of Gunsmoke in just a moment. But first, tomorrow night, Jack Benny and his whole fun-making gang make a personal appearance at a Long Beach, California Veterans Hospital. It's going to be a Christmas they'll never forget, as Benny and the bunch cut loose while they assist the folks at the hospital in trimming their Christmas tree. Be sure to join the fun tomorrow night on CBS Radio, when it's Jack Benny time all across America. Now for the second act of Gunsmoke.
Amos Cowley sulked his way along the trail for the next while. And then it was almost like he couldn't stand the quiet. Or maybe he had things on his mind. He turned his head.
Go on.
What?
Go on, tell me some more.
Oh, about Dodge?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Well, you try some more, huh?
Well, they got a little pine tree in the Texas Trail.
tree?
Yeah, come down a long way from the north. Kitty Russell, she's a hostess in the Texas Trail. Well, she got a lot of ribbon and gewgaws and made it look real nice. That was last Christmas.
A star at the top?
A star?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It looked like a star, I guess. It sure looked pretty. And there was a difference in the place that day. Everybody was celebrating and feeling real good. The doors would swing open and somebody would come in and, maybe somebody you just knew to nod at, but because it was Christmas Eve, he'd come right up and say, hello. Oh, maybe that's a good reason, maybe not. I don't know.
All right, I'll tell you.
Anyhow, it was still kind of early.
Just wait your turn.
Kitty and Chester were standing off looking at the tree.
Hi, Matt.
Good evening, Mr. Dillon.
Hi, Kitty. Chester.
How do you like it, Matt? Christmas tree.
That's
Oh, that's real pretty.
Only tree but one in the whole town.
Yeah, Kate's got one over the Alfaganza.
Oh, well, I'll have to see it later.
You're next. You're next.
Where's Sam?
I don't know. Maybe he started celebrating too soon.
Oh.
Doc's taking over the bar.
Yeah, that's right.
You want a drink, Kitty?
Sure.
Oh, right away. I'll get you a drink. I'll get you.
You haven't forgotten anything, have you, Mr. Dillon?
Forgotten? What, Chester?
There. What did I tell you, Miss Kitty? I knew just as sure as my nose that
Oh,
you forgot.
that. No. I hadn't forgotten.
Oh, well, I thought as soon as I get Sam sober enough to take care of the customers, we could go on over to Doc's like we planned.
Sure, we'll do that, Chester.
Here you are, Matt.
Thanks, Doc.
That's what?
Oh.
Yeah, well, it's still snowing out?
No, it stopped. Where you going, Kitty?
Oh, I just want to look outside. Ah, real pretty.
Man thinks of a lot of funny things that don't mean much. Kitty standing at the door, sniffing the cold air, and the warmth inside, and the whiskey in me. It was a good feeling. And then Chester and I decided to take a bottle over to Mr. Hightower. He's the telegraph operator over at the depot. He runs a printing shop on the side.
Say, Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, Chester.
Do you mind if I stop by the church for a minute?
No, I don't mind.
I just feel kind of right tonight, Mr. Dillon. Figure I ought to thank somebody for it.
Sure. So we stopped by the church. I've never been much of a man for church, I guess, but I went along with Chester. Wasn't anybody else there, just the two of us. Guess we sat for 10 minutes in that place. Chester a little way off with his head bowed. There's a lot of peace in a church. Maybe it's the quiet. Maybe it's the good that people find in there. Whatever it was, it made a man feel glad about pretty much everything.
I haven't been in a church since I don't know when.
Oh, is that so?
I heaved to. Well, she's becalmed again, mister.
Okay.
She sure wasn't built for it, I'll tell you. Ever see anything like that?
Yeah, she is kind of old, isn't she?
I've had her going on 8 years. She hasn't changed a mite. Eats like a pig and looks like a four-legged mizzenmast.
Smoke?
Don't mind. Hey, what about that fella Hightower? Did you get that bottle to him?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess it was lonely over in the depot all alone. He was glad for the company. There was a wood fire burning in the stove, but it didn't keep out the cold much.
Well, how are
are you, gents? Merry Christmas.
Well, how's it going, Mr. Hightower?
Oh, slow, Marshal, slow. Bit of excitement about an hour back, though.
That so?
Yeah, 9:15 got stuck between here and Hutchinson. Lots of snow back there.
They getting her out?
Sure, they're trying, but I'm sure glad I'm not on it. It's going to be a cold night on that train.
Well, it's kind of chilly in here, isn't it, Mr. Hightower?
And it warmer, and I'm going to sleep.
Well, say, we brought you over a bottle of Irish for company.
Jameson's. Well, I declare I was just thinking about a tot before you boys come in. Now, that's real friendly. Will you have a drink with me?
We sure will.
Let's open her up, huh? A couple of glasses up on the shelf there, Chester. Get them down, will you?
I don't know if you get an idea about the folks in Dodge or not. They're not any different than any other people, nor the town either. I guess maybe it's a pretty small place at that. The depot, the hall, a few stores, a church, Doc's office, a Texas Trail, Alafraganza, my office. Well, not much, but it's where you live, you know?
Sounds all right. I lived in a town once back east. Small. I know what you mean.
Well, maybe you'll be going back.
Maybe. Say, kids, they still believe in St. Nick?
Oh, sure, I
Mighty
suppose.
few kids down where I've been. Injun kids, they don't believe in St. Nick.
No reason they should, I guess.
I used to believe in it, you know that?
Well, I guess most people did one time or another. Hey, you figure we come maybe 10 miles?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Yeah. Well, come on. You want to ride the saddle for a bit?
Oh, no. That's okay.
Well, then okay.
We rode on, and I thought about last year, about Kitty, Doc, and Chester and me going over to Doc's place after Doc got tired at tending bar at the Texas Trail. It was about 1:45, and we stood around and sang Christmas carols. And I remember how it sounded that night, how it looked. The glow in the stove in the middle of the room, and the frosty windows.
On a cold winter.
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve, all right.
Was so deep. Noel, 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 Noel. Born is the King of Israel.
Say, that was fine. That was just fine.
Yes, it was.
Oh, gee. Say, now, what do you say if we...
Listen.
Huh?
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You know, I feel sentimental. That's exactly what I feel. I feel sentimental.
I know what you mean, Doc. I surely know.
Okay, Doc. Bring him out.
And I remember how Doc scuttled over to the bureau and brought out some packages. The presents weren't much, but it didn't matter what they were. And when we'd finished opening them, it was Chester who said what we were all thinking.
I just want to say, Miss Kitty, Doc, you, Mr. Dillon, I just want to say that this is the best doggone Christmas I ever had. And that's what I want to say.
Say, you was going to tell me about that fella John was courting that woman. What was her name?
Oh, yeah, Miss McNish.
That's right.
Well, she said yes, and you've never seen two happier people in your whole life. Yeah, she's Miss McNish Bumpy now.
Well, that's good.
You know, you might settle for a bit in Dodge, or you could get work there.
Sure would be fine if you could get back tonight, wouldn't it?
Well, it can't be helped. I'd be a lot further away and a sight more tired if you hadn't come along.
Yeah. Now, listen. How far do you figure before there's a place you might pick up a horse?
Oh, I don't know, 15 miles or so, maybe.
Oh, we're not going to make any 15 miles in this nag tonight, that's for sure.
Oh, that's all right.
Now, I tell you what. You go on alone, you see.
Oh, no, forget it.
Now, you go on alone. She'd hold out with one man on her. And then you get a fresh horse and you ride into Dodge tonight.
Well, thanks. That's very
I'm
kind.
telling you, I want you to go. I'll be fine. I've walked before. Probably make it almost as quick as you.
Look, it's real nice of you, Mr. Colley, but no thanks.
Now, Christmas don't mean nothing to me. You got friends waiting for you.
Well, I'll see them tomorrow.
You're a fool.
Well, that may be.
All of them nice folks. I'm going to make them feel pretty bad.
Look, I'll stay. If you want to go on along, thanks for the ride.
Well, might as well make camp then.
I guess so.
And listen, you want to tell me some more about what you was telling me before we turn in?
Well, sure.
I'd take it kindly, mister. I'll get yourself settled. I got some stuff in my pack we can eat and maybe get a fire going. Then after we eat, you can tell me some more.
We made a fire and then shared what we had for supper. He seemed to soften up after that, and we talked for a couple or 3 hours. It was like he was starved for news of people, everyday things, and just plain company. And that's how we spent Christmas Eve together out on the plain. And then when the fire was dying down and I was about ready for sleep, he said,
Marshal.
Yeah?
I want to tell you something. I've been needing to tell it for a long time. Do you mind?
Well, of course I don't mind.
Well, then I'll tell you. A few years ago, I was skipper of a little schooner. I used to sail up and down the East Coast, you know, Boston, New York.
Yeah.
Well, one night, we hit dirty weather off New Jersey. Real dirty. Blew us off course, and we piled up on the rocks and knocked the bottom out.
That's too bad.
There was 18 passengers aboard, Marshal. 4 of them was kids. We never saw them again.
No.
And my own wife and my kid went down, too.
I'm sorry.
Well, now, something must have happened to me after that. I didn't want nothing to do with ships or the sea, and I started to drift out this way. I couldn't forget, though, do you know? And I didn't want to be near folks, especially kids, to remind me, do you know?
Yeah.
And that's how come I've been slewing around ever since.
Sure, I understand.
Just kind of wanted to get it off my chest.
Sure.
Marshal, I'd like to ride into Dodge with you tomorrow. You think I might meet some of them folks you was telling about?
Oh, I don't see why not.
That'd be all right. Maybe I wouldn't need to drift no more. Maybe I could, drop anchor, do you know?
Yeah, you might at that.
Yes. Well, good night.
Good night.
Merry Christmas, Marshal.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Colley.
Gunsmoke, under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was specially written for Gunsmoke by Anthony Ellis, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in the cast were Lawrence Dobkin, with Harry Bartell and John Daner. Parley Bear is Chester, Howard McNear is Doc, and Georgia Ellis is Kitty. Gunsmoke is heard by our troops overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke. Tomorrow night, Edgar Bergen's real-life daughter, Candy, pays him and you a visit on The Edgar Bergen Show with Charlie McCarthy. Candy and Charlie hit it off fine, but Edgar has cause to regret his hasty decision to invite his 6-year-old daughter into the show, especially when she starts throwing her voice. Sounds like fun tomorrow night on most of these same stations when CBS Radio presents The Edgar Bergen Show with Charlie McCarthy. This is Roy Rowan speaking. And remember, Eve Arden as our Miss Brooks teaches you how to laugh every Sunday on the CBS Radio Network.
71 years ago, December 20th, 1952, Gunsmoke. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Again tomorrow, the Aldrich Family, Phil Harris and Alice Faye Show, a couple of episodes of Suspense starring Dennis Day and Raymond Burr, and an episode of Blum and Abner. Up next, though, we will hear from Fibber McGee and Molly.
Do you know how old the school building in your community is? If it's over 25 years old, the chances are that it's woefully inadequate. Join with the groups in your community working for better school conditions. Remember, better schools build a stronger America.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, time to go to Wistful Vista for a quarter-hour episode of Fibber, McGee, and Molly. This episode from 69 years ago, December 20th, 1954, 69 years ago.
It's time for Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Sundays through Thursdays, NBC brings you Fibber, McGee, and Molly transcribed. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Ralph Goodman and directed by Max Hutto. Before we find out what Mr. McGee's big idea is tonight, here's a big idea for any night.
McGee, whatever happened to that nice idea that used to be around about marriage being a 50-50 deal?
Well, I'd say it's alive and kicking. Still takes two to polka.
Tango, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
Don't quote me, but I guess you're right. With married folks, things do manage to work out pretty evenly.
And you should know, Molly. You take something like planning the family's future. That's one job where a wife and husband should work together because it's not his or her future, it's theirs.
You bet. And, McGee, if folks would use Prudential's Dollar Guide, they'd find the problem of planning for their future a whole lot easier. Sit down with a dollar guide, and step by step you can figure out just how much money will be needed to get along on if Dad dies unexpectedly.
Money for important things like living expenses, keeping the kids fed, clothed, and in school, paying off the mortgage or the rent. So let's face it, folks. Now's the time to decide what your family's future needs will be in dollars and cents.
And you know, the man to help you with deciding is your Prudential agent. Call him and make a date soon. He'll show you how to make sure the money will be there when you need it the most.
Among the crowd of shoppers in downtown Wistful Vista this morning are Mrs. McGee and her husband, Fibber. They're headed for the big new toy store which recently opened at 14th and Oak, and which Mr. McGee describes as follows.
4 floors of nothing but toys, their ad says. Mort Toop spent a whole day in the store last week, and he says it's a fabulous place.
Well, all we want to do is buy something nice for Teeny and get home out of this crowd. Let's not spend all day now.
You know, it's just amazing the new toys they bring out every year. Got a lot of educational type stuff down there, Mort says. He bought a couple of wonderful things for his kid, Willie.
I know. I was over at their house when Mabel made him take them back.
Take them back? Well, they sounded like swell presents to me.
Oh, great. A junior dentist satchel with a book on how to pull your own teeth. And an H-bomb assembly kit with 5 pounds of uranium. Cute.
Well, come on, let's go in. Here we are.
My, will you look at this place? Just look at all the toys.
Yeah, that's what Mort Toop said. They import toys from all over the world and every place.
Well, now, if we don't find something nice for Teeny here, we won't find it anywhere. Look at all the playground equipment over there.
Look at that sliding board with the escalator on the side of it to take the kids back up. Boy, isn't that a dilly?
Probably costs a fortune. Look at the seesaw, the one over there.
Yeah, I never saw a seesaw like this one. Says, is your child an only child? Do his friends all hate him? He can live alone and like it with this beautiful motor-driven seesaw.
Will you... Motor-driven seesaws. My goodness, what'll they think? No, McGee, don't get on it.
I won't hurt it. I just want...
No, you'll break it. Come on now.
Oh, gee whiz, Molly. I never had a motor-driven seesaw when I was a kid. Always wanted one, too. That one's imported from Italy.
Come on, McGee, down this way. We'll find something nice.
Hey, look at kiddo. Look over here. Flying saucers. Oh, boy, how about that?
Isn't that cute? Big enough for a child to sit in. What does it say there, stamped on the side of it? Can you make it out?
Says, made in Mars by Martian.
Don't touch it. Get away from it. Heavenly days, these people import from everywhere, don't they?
All over the world and every place.
Oh, look at the beautiful dolls, McGee. Wouldn't Teeny love one of these?
Oh, she'll get all kinds of dolls from her relatives, Molly. Let's get something different.
Oh, yeah, but look at this one. It's almost as big as little Teeny. Wait till I pick it up and see if it's a mama doll. It ought to say...
My name is Dolly Darling. Are you going to be my new mama?
Huh? Heavenly days. What?
I have records inside of me, and when you pick me up, it starts my mechanism, and I can say anything you put on the record.
Oh, my gosh, how do you like that?
Oh, wouldn't Teeny love something
So
like...
tell your daddy you want me for Christmas. I sell for only $67.50 with 12 extra records.
67. Set it down, Molly. Set it down quick. That's too doggone expensive.
I should say so.
That's what everyone says, but I'm so cute, they...
How do you like that? A doll with a built-in sales talk. Come on down this way.
Oh, that little doll seems almost human, doesn't it?
Yep, I hope we don't make her sore putting her back and not buying her. She's liable to pick up one of them bows and arrows and... Ow! Who did that? Who shot this arrow?
Good heavens. Here. It's only a suction cup on it. Hold still, I'll get it.
Oh.
There. You don't think the doll actually did that?
No, it came from the other direction. I bet it, kids. Hey, lady, you shouldn't let your kid fool with them bows and arrows. What's the matter with you?
Oh, McGee.
My little boy didn't do that.
Well, it came from your direction.
It was his father. Oliver, get out from under that counter. How many times have I told you?
Oh, that poor woman, I know just what she's up against.
Well, come on, let's pick out Teeny's present and get the heck out of here. Guy could lose an eye around this joint.
Here comes the salesman now.
How do you do? Can I help you?
You sure can, bud. Let me have one of them space helmets.
A space helmet? Oh, McGee, Teeny has a half a dozen of
Yes,
those.
sir. Here you are, sir. Shall I gift wrap it?
No, I'm going to wear it. At least till I finish shopping in here. A guy could get his head shot off without protection around here. And if I'm going to find Teeny a present, I got to wear it.
Back to Wistful Vista in a minute.
The soap that gets you extra clean is Dial, Dial, Dial. The soap that keeps you extra clean is Dial, Dial, Dial.
Dial users say they just don't feel as clean with any other soap. And it's true. With Dial, you never worry about odor, because Dial removes the cause. You see, normal perspiration is odorless until skin bacteria go to work on it. They cause the odor. And ordinary soaps leave thousands of these bacteria. But daily washing with Dial removes up to 95% of them. That's because Dial's the only leading soap with AT7, or hexachlorophene. There's nothing else as good at stopping odor. And this ingredient clings to your skin, protecting you all day, several days if need be.
That's why Dial stops odor before it starts and keeps you nice to be around. Aren't you glad you use Dial soap? And don't you wish everybody did?
You don't like the toy kitchen either with the electric stove that really cooks?
Nope.
And well, then, how about this fire engine with the automatic push-button ladder? It has a hose that squirts real water.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, it's a very popular item with the children, sir. We've sold literally hundreds of them, and I think...
Skip it, then. Skip it. I told you before I want something different for this little girl, Bud. Not some toy that every kid on the block has got one just like it Christmas morning.
Yes, sir.
I must say that for a store with as many different toys as you got in this store, you're not doing a very good job of finding what I want. Is he, Molly? Molly! Molly!
Your wife is in the furniture department, sitting down. Resting, I imagine.
Oh, well, I don't blame her. I'm getting a little tired myself. But I'll stay with it, so you just keep showing us stuff.
Yes, sir. Keep showing us stuff, he says. I've showed him 7,000...
McGee, haven't you found anything yet? We've been around this whole store 3 times, and I'm tired.
Well, so am I tired, too, but you know how Teeny looks forward to her present from us every year.
What was the matter with that lovely little doll we saw? Not the one with the records inside of her, the one with the real hair and the set of hair curlers.
Oh.
So she can put it up in a wave every night. Little girls love to imitate their mothers, and Teeny...
That's no good, Molly. You know how she always brings her toys over to me, for me to show her how they work and play with them with her. Can't you just see me holding them curlers in my teeth and trying...
Well, I wish you'd make up your mind on something. We've been here 2 hours now.
I'll find the right present, don't you worry. Okay, Bud, what else you got to... where'd he go? That salesman, where'd he go?
Is that him way down there heading for the front door?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bud! Hey, you come back here. I'm not through with you.
Out the door and down the street.
Hey. Well, by George, this is some service when a salesman deliberately runs out on a customer and... Floor walker! Hey, floor walker! Who's in charge here? I'd like some service around here and... Boy, oh boy. I got it, Molly. I got it. Teeny's present. Yeah, way up there on the 4th floor, I found the exact perfect gift.
Well, thank heavens at last. Well, let's go home.
Oh, wait till you see it, kiddo. She'll love it. I won't unwrap it till we get home to show it to you. It's just terrific. Brand new, and it's real unusual.
All right. What is it?
It's a machine gun.
A what? After all you said about dangerous weapons?
Oh, this ain't dangerous. As long as you got plenty of bicarbonate of soda around the house, this is okay.
Bicarbonate? What are you supposed to...
It shoots popcorn. You see, you pour kernels of corn down the barrel, and then you plug in the electric cord, and pretty soon it heats up, and then you crank a little handle on the side of it, and bam, bam, bippity-bam, out comes popcorn.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, how do they think these up?
She'll have a lot of fun with this thing, and I can help her, too.
Only 2 helpings, though. And I want to be there every time you and Teeny use it. No shots in the dark.
Okay. Boy, will she be popular with the other kids when she shows them this thing. Bam, bam, bippity-bam, popcorn.
Yeah, you told me. Now, come on, let's get out of here.
Okay, watch the door.
Thank heavens this is over. I'll be glad... Oh, look who's on the corner over there, Dr. Gamble.
Oh, and the old timer. What are they waving their arms about?
Looks like they're arguing or something.
How about that?
Listen.
Look here, old-timer. You know how busy I am.
I'm busy too, Doc. I work for a living, you know, and I seen it first, and I bought it.
Let's go see what's
So
wrong.
I haven't got time to waste shopping. I got patience.
I got patience too, but it's wore pretty thin.
Now look here, old-timer. I'm sick
Hey, what the heck goes on, you guys?
Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hi.
Maybe you two can settle this.
Got an obstinate fellow on my hands, kids. Won't listen to reason.
I won't listen to reason. You're the most...
Now, hush, both of you.
Yeah. Gee whiz, boys. I and Molly are pretty wore out ourselves from a hard day shopping, but if you'll just tell us your problem, we'll try to solve it for you, won't we, Molly?
Yes, now one at a time, please.
Which one?
Well, we'll have age before beauty, old-timer. So you tell it first, Doc.
Thank you. Very simple. The old-timer and I both bought the same present for Christmas for the same person, and I claim he should take his back and get something else.
No, I ain't gonna do it, because it was too hard to find just the exact right present. For that little kid down the street from you kids. And wait till you see what I found. Terrific. It's a machine gun, see?
What?
And you put corn down the barrel here and plug it into the light socket.
Come on, McGee.
And then you turn this little crank and bam, bam, bibbity-bam, popcorn, out it comes. And hey, where are you going, kid?
Yeah, wait. You said you'd settle this argument. McGee!
Hey!
Molly!
What?
McGee!
Oh.
Fibber and Molly will be right back. Tomorrow night, when you hear these words, Lux presents Hollywood, you can count on a full hour of top-notch listening to follow. For those are the words that introduce you to Lux Radio Theater, radio's greatest dramatic show. This week, Lux Radio Theater brings you Edmund Gwenn recreating his original screen role in the wonderful story Miracle on 34th Street, a special Christmas program. In addition to Lux Radio Theater, there's an exciting lineup of other Tuesday night favorites for your holiday listening pleasure. There's People Are Funny, starring Art Linkletter. Dragnet, with Jack Webb in his famous role of Sergeant Joe Friday. Our own Fibber McGee and Molly. And the Great Gildersleeve, the pompous but lovable Water Commissioner of Summerfield. It's the biggest Tuesday night in radio. Lux Radio Theater, Dragnet, People Are Funny, Fibber McGee and Molly, and the Great Gildersleeve. How can you go wrong with a lineup like that? It's all yours every Tuesday evening here on NBC.
Gee, I sure hope Teeny likes this present we got for her instead of that popcorn machine gun.
Let's see how it works again, will you? It's so cute.
No, we better not fool with it too much. We might break it.
Oh, go on.
Okay. Well, you just comb the hair out like this. Then you take these curlers and hold them in your teeth like this. And put them in one at a time like this. It says Mama, too.
Oh, she'll just love it.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night, all.
Fibber, McGee, and Molly is an NBC Radio Network production transcribed, with Bill Thompson as the old-timer, Arthur Q. Bryan as Dr. Gamble, and Colleen Collins as the doll. This is John Wald inviting you to listen again tomorrow to Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
69 years ago, December 20th, 1954, Fibber, McGee, and Molly here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Want to thank our friends for buying us copies this time of year. I think Jeff bought us one, and that was really nice. And we thank you, Jeff, for buying us some copies at classicradio.stream. It's really nice this time of year to have some extra pin money to help keep us rolling here. Alrighty, tomorrow, Aldrich Family, Phil Harris, Alice Faye Show, and a couple of episodes of Suspense, and Lum and Abner. That'll be on our Friday edition of the program as we roll into Christmas, more Christmas shows. Thanks for making us a part of your day. Webpage, classicradio.stream. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you Friday right here. Have a great Thursday.